I'm gonna show you how you can make $180,000 in profit per year starting this home service business in your first year. This business has incredibly low startup costs. You can turn a profit in your first month. This business you can start on the side as a side gig and easily go full-time when you're ready. And this business is in a fast-growing, giant market that is AI-proof and recession-proof. So I'm gonna tell you a story about Josh. So in October 2022, Josh decided he was gonna start a painting business, and he started it by just painting for some of his friends and family and neighbors. He did a few jobs just trying to learn painting. By January, he started actually marketing the business, doing estimates, and hiring a couple other people to do the jobs for him. By April, he was consistently bringing in revenue every single week, getting those jobs produced, and he was no longer doing any painting himself. And by October 2023, 1 year after he started the business, Josh did $60,000 in revenue, made $15,000 in profit, and he did it working 35 to 40 hours a week. 8 months after that, July 2024, Josh had a $200,000 a month in his business. As someone who had no background in the painting business, just a lot of great experience as a professional. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how Josh started his business, how he got his first jobs, and how he grew his business. Now, like, Josh is not unique. I've seen hundreds of people do this over the years, whether they have a background in painting, no background in painting, young, old, corporate background, no corporate background, people in big markets and small markets alike. So in this video, we're gonna dive into exactly how to start the business, how to get your first job, how to scale the company to do what Josh did for yourself. All right, so we gotta start at the beginning. What are the 9 steps to actually getting your company set up and established? I remember when I first started my business, that one of the most confusing parts was how I actually start the business. Like, what do I need to do to be in business? And once I registered the business and I have a bank account, like, what else do I need? Do I have everything I need? So here's the 9 steps that you need to get the business started. Step 1, you gotta decide on a company name. Some suggestions are to focus on a name that is simple and memorable, that's easy to spell, and you want the name to have painting or painters in the name. Once you have an idea of your name, go and Google that company name to make sure there's no other companies by that name in your local area so that you don't have customers searching for you, but finding someone else who's been there a little bit longer. Step 2, you gotta register your business with the Secretary of State. The easiest way to do this is go on Google and search State, Secretary of State. So you search Colorado Secretary of State and then click through and you can find where to register your business. If you're having trouble, you can just search how to register a new business in state, and you wanna focus on websites that end in .gov. You shouldn't have to pay anyone, so make sure that you're not getting duped into a third party that's trying to make money off of you registering a business. Step 3 is you need to get a federal EIN number. So this is with the IRS. This is the number that tracks your business. You can search how to get my EIN. Make sure you go to the irs.gov website to register for your EIN. All of this should cost you very little so far. Step 4, set up your bank account. So you go down to the bank. Once you have your articles of organization that you set up your business with, you have your EIN, you can now open a bank account. Step 5, get a general liability insurance and workers' comp policy. There's a number of people that can do this. You wanna shop it around. You wanna talk to plenty of different agents who have an experience in contractors insurance. You wanna get a general liability policy that covers you for up to $1 million in general liability. And you wanna make sure that you're not getting a policy that is too cheap. You wanna get a policy that actually protects you and the customers you're gonna be doing work for. Step 6, you wanna determine licensing requirements. So licensing requirements are difficult because they're different in every state, and in some states they're different in every county. So you can start with a Google search. You can search my state, licensing requirements for painting or painting contractor licensing requirements to see what the requirements are. If you can't find any information about licensing requirements in your state, that's usually an indication that there are no licensing required in your state. You can also go to ChatGPT or any other AI platform and ask them and have that conversation there. And if you're really confused, you can call someone who works at the government and work your way around to make sure you are clear about the licensing requirements. Step 7, you gotta create your first logo. All right, so the easiest way to do this is start with something basic. You can always level up your brand and go to the 9s later, but right now we just wanna get your company set up so you can start marketing and selling and turning a profit. You can go to Fiverr.com and you can get a logo made for very inexpensive amounts. So you just have a logo, and 6 months in, 12 months in, you can revamp that logo if you'd like, or you can post on Facebook and see if you know anybody in your circle that would be willing to help you out with your new business and do a logo for free. Step 8, you need to build a company website. So if you're strapped for cash, the easiest way to do this is to just build a website yourself. There are a lot of amazing website builders out there that you can easily build a website yourself. Go on Google and search for a painting company near you. Click through a few of the websites, find one that's a little more basic, and then try to just copy the basics of that website so you have the basic structure and you can use that kind of as a template to build your own website. This shouldn't take you a lot of time. It shouldn't cost you almost any money. And now you've got a website and now you're almost ready to actually conduct business. Step nine, you want to order basic marketing materials. So that would include, for me, I would suggest getting contracts made, paper contracts. You can start really basic. We have links below the video where you can download a really basic contract that we can provide for you. So a basic contract with carbon copies, and then flyers, because that's one of the easiest ways that you can start getting business is by literally going door to door and offering your services. So when I started my business, I ordered 200 flyers that were 4 per page, so I had 800 flyers, and then I ordered 50 contracts, and I was ready to go. Now that we've done these 9 steps, you have everything ready to go, you're ready to start going out and conducting business. Now that you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, the business is ready to start. Now we gotta go and do the next phase, which is getting your first job sold and produced and turning a profit. This is a really big phase in your business, and it's something that can happen quickly. You didn't have to spend that much money to start the business, and we don't need to produce that many jobs to start making money and turning a profit in the business. So the way that the business works is when you sell a job, it's standard to take a deposit. Your average job size in the painting business across the country is around $5,000, give or take. The standard deposit to take across the country is about 25%, unless you're in certain states that require a lower deposit. So when you sell a job, you bring $1,250 into the business. And then when you produce the job, you pay 50% of that for labor and materials, and you keep the rest. So we have about 50% gross margins in the business, which means when you can hustle to get the first leads, you can sell the job and you can get that job done without doing the painting yourself, you can make about a 50% profit at the early stages of the business. So if you can get one $5,000 job done, you can make $2,500 in profit, which for many people can cover your startup expenses with one project, and now you're making money. So the way that Josh started his business is the same way I started mine, which was just going door to door and offering my services. It doesn't take much to do this. There's a lot of people who need painting, and you can walk through a neighborhood and you can see the houses that need painting. So Josh started his business the same way I did, which was going door to door and just offering our services. So when I started my company back in 2010, me and this girl Faith went door to door for 6 hours, and we knocked and we said, "Hey, I'm Eric, I'm a Foothills Painting. I noticed you had some peeling paint up there on the trim, so I just want to put you down for a free estimate." And in 6 hours, 11 people said, "Yep, I'd love to take a free estimate." Went back, called those people, set up 6 estimates, went out, did those estimates, and sold some jobs. Now at the very beginning, you don't have credibility, you don't have references, you don't have reviews, but what you do have is you have belief, conviction in yourself, and you have to have the opportunity to be professional and take care of people. So the question that I always like to ask people who are starting their business out is I say, well, you're starting the business because you believe you can do a better job. Why do you believe that? And you need to be able to answer that question for yourself. And if you believe you can answer that question for yourself, which you should be able to, that's why you're starting the business, then that's the same thing you say to customers. So when I first started, I said, look, I know I haven't done any jobs, but the truth is that I will do whatever it takes to be successful. You know, what Josh said is, hey, I've worked at Lockheed Martin, I've worked in corporate America, I know what it takes to do a job, I've painted my own house before, and I know that the most important thing is just our communication, doing what we say we're gonna do, being on time, and I guarantee you I'm going to follow through. So I don't even take the last 75% of the job until you are completely satisfied, and I will go bend over backwards to make sure that you're happy with the job. Now at the beginning of your business, you don't need to win every job, you just gotta win one. And once you get your first job, you're gonna use that job to get reviews, to get referrals, to get before and after pictures. And the first job is the hardest. And that's why in January, the first year Josh was in business, he only did about $10,000 in business. And by the time he got to October, he was doing $60,000 in business, and it was easier than January was for him, because that success compounds. Now, once you get your first job sold, now we need to produce the job. There's really 2 ways that you can do this at the beginning of your business. If it's a really easy job and you have painting experience, you have the equipment, or you want to just do it yourself, you can do it. That's what Josh did in his very first month in business, is he did some easy jobs, painted some bedrooms, and just like did some of the work himself. When I first started my business, I did the same thing. There were some small projects that I didn't really need to buy equipment for. I needed a brush, a bucket, a ladder, like just a couple basic things. And I went and did those jobs myself, just like people paint their homes every single day. Some of the larger projects, we like to recommend using subcontractors. So there are tons of subcontractors out there who do amazing work. Now, when you start hiring people to work for your business, you can hire employees or subcontractors to do the painting for yourself. There are many benefits to using subcontractors in your business. that I'm not gonna get into in this video, but that's what we recommend to people. Whether you use an employee business model for your business or subcontractors, either way, you're dealing with people. There are a lot of bad employees out there. There's a lot of great employees out there. There's a lot of bad subcontractors out there. There's a lot of great subcontractors out there. We have built our entire portfolio, which does $30 million a year in business. We built that whole portfolio utilizing subcontractors, and there are some absolutely amazing human beings and people who run a subcontracting business and do phenomenal work for our clients. You pay them for the job. So if it's a $5,000 job, you might say, hey, I'm gonna pay you $3,000. That covers labor and materials. And once you complete the project, I get paid, you get paid, all good. So that's how we get our first job done. And you might need to do 1, 2, or 3 jobs, and then you have broken even, you have gotten your first projects, you've gotten your first reviews, your first references, and your first before and after pictures for your business. So now we move on to step 3, which is growing your business. All right, so at this stage of the business, you've registered and set up the business, and you've done some jobs. So now I'd like to think that you're just like every other company out there. You're just in business, just like any other painting company. And so now you're just running a painting company. And there's really 3 core functions in the business that grows the business. And you've already done them now: marketing, sales, and project management. So for marketing, you just keep doing the thing that you did to get your first job, but now get a second job and then a third job. Go from doing 1 a week to 2 a week to 3 a week. So whatever you already did to get business, do more of that, and then you can slowly start adding things in. So Josh got some jobs from networking, then he got some from door to door, then he started putting lawn signs up, dropping flyers around neighborhoods, he started investing in SEO, he started running a newsletter to past customers, and he even started doing some Facebook ads throughout his year from January through October, and that's what grew his marketing to allow him to go from $10,000 a month to $60,000 a month 10 months later. Once you're improving on your marketing, then for sales, you're just gonna keep getting better at sales. Your reputation's gonna help, you're gonna have more reviews, more references, more before and after pictures, but also you can get better at building a professional sales process. And there's a lot of resources available to help you do that if you get into this business. Once you're selling these projects, then we also need to get better at delivering on our promises to customers. In your first year in business, I always say, keep it simple, say no to the complex jobs, say no to the giant projects, and stay in your lane. You can always add things later, but you wanna keep it simple so that you can deliver on your promises to customers. The key with managing projects is 2 things. 1 is finding great people. These are the people representing your company. They're out there, and it's your job to find great people to represent you. And then number 2, it's your own organizational structure for how you take the promises you made in the sales process and deliver them on the back end. Now, these are the 3 things we just keep improving every single month, so you can go from doing 1 job a week for $5,000 to 2 to 3. And that's what Josh did from January through October, is he got up to 3 projects a week for $5,000 per project, $15,000 a week, $60,000 a month. And after all expenses, he was keeping over $15,000 a month, working less than 40 hours per week. He continued to grow that, and he continues to grow his business to this day. And Josh is actually one of our partners in our portfolio company now, and we love the guy. So there's a really great opportunity for this business for someone just getting started. You can turn a profit really quickly. You can make a lot of money in the first year. This isn't rocket science. This isn't a crazy difficult business. There's still a total lack of professionalism in this industry. This business is largely AI proof in a world where there's not a lot of businesses that are AI proof. This business is largely recession proof. I've been through 2 different recessions, and during both, the companies I was a part of grew, because when recessions are happening, people don't sell their homes. When people don't sell their homes, they finally do those painting projects they've been pushing off. So we found that there's not a huge impact during recessions on the painting business. And lastly, we want to talk about just the size of the market. It's an absolutely huge market. So in Colorado, as an example, there's over $500 million in paint sold every year, which puts the painting services market at over $2 billion per year, just in Colorado, just along the Front Range. California, it's over $10 billion in painting services per year. The market is staggering. It's growing. Every house, every building needs to be painted inside and out over and over and over again. Paint prices are going up, labor prices are going up, and the market itself is growing because new buildings and new houses are being built everywhere. So this is a huge market, and you don't need much of that market to carve out an amazing business that really gives you the kind of freedom that people are looking for when you start a company. So if you're looking to start a business in 2025, look no further than starting a painting company. And if you want to learn more about Josh and his story, I did a whole podcast episode with Josh telling his story and how he built his business, going into a lot more detail than we just did. You can check out the link below this video, or just click right here and check out that podcast.